you're doing well. I haven't really done much this week so far, to be honest. We were staying at some family friends Monday and Tuesday, so I didn't film anything. And then we had a really good time, but on Wednesday I was tired, like socially speaking, so I basically just took the whole day off. I'm on holiday, like there's no taking days off, every day is a day off, but I think I did a bit of journaling and that was it. And then yesterday we were in Nice. We also visited a nearby little town called Es, which we'd passed near a few times before, and I think my parents had been there like 20 years ago, but I'd never been to, and every time that we'd like pass near it, we were like either with motorcycles, and that's really not the place to be hiking up in like motorcycle clothes, or we were just like tired. It was the end of the day, so it wasn't really the appropriate time to do that, but we had a really good time there yesterday, and I'm really glad we went because the views were incredible. You will have seen some of the footage, so I'm happy we got to do that. But I wanted to film a little check-in to show you what I got yesterday, because one of the reasons that we wanted to go to Nice again for was to go to this art store that my parents had discovered last time they were there, and it's very similar to like WH Smith's that I used to go to when I was in England, but I don't think we really have something like that here in Italy, at least not some place that I get to go to quite often. And so it's the kind of place where they have all sorts of like art supplies for any kind of crafty things, and I have a lot of crafty hobbies, so I'm very dangerous in a place like that because I want everything. At one point I was just like, okay, I'm done here, because otherwise if you leave me here 5 more minutes, we're gonna go home with like an armful of wool for as a jumper that I want to knit, and I can get that closer to home, so if I need more then it's a bit more practical. But it's like they had so many things, and so I did hold myself back a bit because I don't want to get things that I'm not actually going to use, but I found some really exciting things that I wanted to show you. I got some incense because that's the first thing that I saw, and we were out back home, but that's kind of unrelated. I found the Faber-Castell Pit pen in the colour Sanguine. It's the fine one. I bought a pack of 4 of these in like 4 different sizes. Like, I think I used them during Inktober 2018 or something like that, and they still work. They survived a whole Inktober, which is insane, and I've been using them a little bit to write in my memory book. I think I did the first entry with that. It's this colour. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's this colour. It's really, really beautiful, and they write really nicely, but they're doomed to run out eventually because I've had them so long and I've been using them for so long. They had a lot of colours. They had a really pretty like pastel sage green that I really wanted, but they only had the brush pen, and so I didn't get it because I don't really use brush pens. So it's like that kind of responsible thinking that I was trying to do, like the colour is beautiful, but am I going to use this? No, so I'm not gonna get it. But honestly, I would have bought everything, so there's that. So I'm really happy I got this. I found brush cleaner. I've never used brush cleaner. I normally just use dish soap to like wash my brushes, but with oil paints especially, brushes don't last a very long time, and mine, the majority of the ones that I have gone through 2 full months of Strada Easel Challenge over the course of a year. So they're not in the best shape. I try to take care of them as best as I can, but you know, this is going to be a big aid with that, so I'm happy I found this. And it came with like a little booklet thing, flyer I suppose, to show you how to use it, so got that as well. And then the real start of the show, which was the main reason why I wanted to go there. I was hoping they would have Sennelier oil pastels. You might remember that like a couple of months back I got, I think, 3 colours to try out. I got a white and a black and a skin tone because they were the only ones that they had in my local art store. They were getting more, but they'd only gotten a few to like try out at first, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to like them. A few friends told me they thought I would, and then I tried them and I was like, oh, this is like drawing with butter. I am in love. But I've never found them like in a physical store again. and I wasn't sure whether they'd gotten the full set yet, and I didn't really have time to go. But I also didn't want to order them online because I wanted to like actually see and swatch the colors in person. So they didn't have the full set because I think the full thing is like an insane amount of colors, but they had a lot. So I picked out a whole bunch. I haven't even swatched them yet so far, but I thought I could show you the ones that I got. I am so excited to try these out. And then I got oil pastel paper because I'm not sure what you're meant to do with them. Like, I don't know if you can just use them on regular watercolor paper or if you're meant to prime the paper same as you would with oil paint, because that's what I was thinking about doing, but I'm not sure. I think I've seen people just use them on watercolor paper and have it be fine, and I have tried them on watercolor paper before and they haven't like bled through to the other side, like there's not an oily stain on the other side. So I'm not sure what I meant to do with that, but they had oil pastel paper, so I thought I would just get that. And I think I got like 15 or 16 colors or something like that. I've not tried to do anything with them yet, and I am very excited to try them out properly. I don't know what I'm gonna draw with them. I'm gonna do a test in like, once I finish recording this, I'll do a test. Little drawing, painting, not sure how you call it even. Part of me wants to just go straight in for a portrait, but I think that's a bit insane. So I don't think I'll do that. I got a lot of greens. They have a lot of really pretty greens. I struggled a bit to pick out red because they were all really bright. So I just got a couple, and then I got a couple yellows as well, and a couple of blues. I'm not sure whether this is a good color selection or not. I'm not sure what I could do with this, but I don't know. I just picked colors that I liked, and I thought I might enjoy using. They're already destroyed. Not destroyed, but like I bought a little what do you call this, box to put them in for the trip, and they got out and they were everywhere in the bag, and so they kind of stained everywhere, but it's fine. I'm really excited to try these out. The only thing I wish is that this wasn't a pad. I wish this was just like a not spiral bound basically, but this is the only one that they had, so I went with it. And worst case scenario, I can just cut this out, because I also think, I'm not sure how to store these. Like, I don't know if you're meant to varnish oil pastel drawings or what you're meant to do with them, but if I just keep it in this, like as if it were a sketchbook, then once I flip the page over, it will stain the page above it. Not sure. Like, if I do a drawing on the second page and then I put the first page on top, the back of the first page is gonna get stained. So I'm not really sure how to work with that, and that's why I think it'll be better if I just take them out, but we'll see. We'll try things out, we'll do some tests. I also need to do some journaling. I really thought I was gonna have more time to journal this holiday. I did last week, but because we were away, I didn't really do much this week. I've just been thinking about journals. Also, can we talk about the Hobonichi previews? The one that came out yesterday, I'll put that on the screen, sent me in a half crisis, and I know that if they come up with a botanical themed one, I'll be in like full crisis, because then that'll be 3 covers that I really need to choose between, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do that. But that's a problem for another day. We're not thinking about it now. Got some pictures printed. I'll journal about that as well at some point. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm very behind in here as well, but I don't know. I'll catch up today, tomorrow or something. Also, I finished another book over the weekend. I think between Sunday and Monday, I think. I bought this on a whim because there's like a bookshop over here, but there's 2 bookshops. Neither of them have books in English. And I always struggle a bit with that, because it's like if a book was written in English in the first place and I want to read it in English, same as if a book is written in Italian in the first place, I'm not going to read the English translation. So I was basically looking for something that was either originally written in Italian or some other language that was not English, but majority of the books that I'm interested in reading were originally written in English. I wasn't gonna buy the Italian version. But I found this one and I had a really good time reading it. I've been in a major book slump for like 2 or 3 years at this point. It's not been good, but I had a really good time reading this. I find Japanese books always have the weirdest, most fun to read plot lines. Like I really enjoy it. I don't think I've read a lot of like diverse authors, but I've read a lot of Murakami and then like 3 or 4 other ones, and I've always had a really good time. So I thought I might like this, and I really did. It was cool. So there's that. The cover is beautiful as well. I really like it. That was what drew me to it in the first place. And then I saw the author, and I think I've read some of her books before, many years ago. I can't really remember what. But yeah, so I went for that. Really happy I did. I'm going to read Joan Didion's, what's it called? I keep forgetting what it's called, or like calling it by another name. The Year of Magical Thinking. I printed it out so I can do some journaling about it at some point as well. I got it on my mum's Kindle because I couldn't find the physical copy. So I'll read that next, and hopefully this means I'm a bit out of this book slump, because I really want to read more. It's just not been working for quite a while. So there's that. I'm gonna do a bit of thinking about what I want to try and draw with these, do a sketch, and then hopefully come up with something cool. This might be a disaster, but we're gonna try. Hi there, I hope that you're well. I am recording this on Tuesday, which is very late. I normally end the video on a Sunday, but because I only started filming I think on Wednesday, and then Sunday we were driving back and like packing and sorting out the flat, and it was a whole thing, so there wasn't really anything to film. And then yesterday, which was Monday, which should technically already be in the new week's video, I was just running errands. I went to see my grandma, I went to gym, I came back here. So it was kind of, again, a whole thing, nothing to see. So the video is really short this week. And I thought I would just record another bit of talking, especially because I worked on this drawing earlier and then didn't really talk about it, but I want to talk about it because I think it's very cool. So hopefully the problem doesn't like translate to next week's video as well, but I should be able to film quite a bit in the next couple of days. So here's hoping. I am melting slightly, so I'll try to keep this, well, relatively brief, because I've had to shut all the windows. Not that it's much cooler outside, to be fair. I googled the weather earlier to see how hot it was, and it said 37, but feels like 41 degrees, which is not fun. I don't like this. I've been waiting for autumn to arrive since summer started, so that's kind of the situation at the minute. I don't want to flip this over because it's a bit oily, so I'm just gonna leave it there. In my last talking bit, I said that I was gonna try out the oil pastels that I got, and I was gonna go for something kind of simple, like, you know, you get a new medium, you try to draw a flower, or like, well, flowers are not that easy, but like, I don't know, just a simple thing. I didn't. I know it's ridiculous. I was very excited, and I did a couple of tests and they felt really nice, and I had played around with the 3 colors that I have a very small bit before, like just enough to get used to the texture, but I didn't know how to blend. That was kind of my big issue. But then I thought, I don't know, I'm just going to try it and somehow make it work. I have watched a good bunch of videos on YouTube. I can't remember her name exactly, but I'll put it in like the text thing, and leave her channel link below. She's the one that inspired me to try out oil pastels in the first place. Her work is incredible, and so I've been watching all week her videos very closely to see how she does things, which is the way that I learned how to work with gouache as well. I think with gouache I was watching Hamrib's videos a lot to really see how someone approaches a painting. I think that's the best way to learn, or like to learn how to approach a medium anyways. And so that was very helpful, and so I thought I was just too excited from watching her videos, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a portrait. I went in fully aware that it was gonna be like difficult and it was gonna be a terrible idea. I was not expecting it to turn out this good. I'm really happy with it. I think I still don't really know how to blend. Like, the background I blended entirely with my fingers, which I think is something you're not supposed to do. But the reason I did it is because I wanted to go for a very soft look, like almost a blurry look, and I feel like it worked quite well. But then the face, I don't think I blended at all on the face. Like, I was just blending with the pastels themselves. I don't have too many colors, so I don't have like too many in-between shades. I think if I really end up liking this, I might expand my collection a bit. I don't have very many yellows. I think I only have like one very pale yellow and a yellow green. But they didn't really have any nice yellows, so I didn't pick up any. I might check my local art store and see if they have a couple this week. But it was a lot of fun to work on. I think the thing with this was, like, I want to put a disclaimer out because I know that, like, this is my first oil pastel piece, and if, like, a very beginner sees this and is like, that's a bit insane, and I understand that. My mum said the same thing, but it's like, I've worked with so many mediums before, and I've just been making art for so long that I feel like skills really transfer from one medium to another at this point. Like, how do I put this? Majority of what this came down to for me was color theory. And like just knowing, even though I didn't have all the right in-between shades, knowing how to blend the colors and how to like put them next to each other so that they will look like what I wanted them to look through color theory, like through how that works. So that's kind of it. I wanted to like put a disclaimer out. I am really happy with this and I cannot wait to do more. The issue now is this is just another medium that I will want to use, and it's because I've tried so many mediums over the years and I like working with so many mediums. It's like I want to work with all of them all of the time, which is just not realistic. Like I've been working a lot with watercolor and gouache lately. I've done a little bit of ballpoint pen drawing, but I also really like just drawing with pencils. I haven't oil painted in months, which is insane because I spent literally the whole of last year oil painting. And it's a kind of thing where like when you have too many hobbies, it's hard to like stick to one or like just do, you know, you do one and then you feel like you're neglecting all the others. I also have that, but I also have that with art. So it's a bit insane. But I am hoping to do some more oil pastel pieces. I haven't found a reference yet for what I'm gonna do next, but I think I would like to do another portrait this week, just to like, you know, practice, but also I think it might be fun to try and combine it with what I've been doing with like gouache and watercolor and like this kind of stuff. I might try to work on this with oil pastels because this is really, I don't know what this is, to be honest. I'll see if I can do something with it. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just, this was a fun little thing, and I hope I'll get to do more. But it was really interesting to work on because it was still very mindless. Like the thing about art making for me is that it's the one thing where I completely switch off, and where my one brain cell isn't running around like on a spinning wheel. But when I do something that's more challenging, in this case because it was a medium that I wasn't like used to, it was still very mindless, but it was also very present because I had to be very focused on what I was doing. And so it was so good. It was so like the process was so enjoyable. So I definitely want to do more. I am kind of thinking of doing like a 1 week sketchbook with oil pastels just to practice, but we'll see. To be fair, that comes from the fact that I was talking about bookbinding with some friends online. I've done a tiny bit of bookbinding before. I've made some sketchbooks like just to use for myself and stuff, and I'm not the best at it. Like some of them fall apart and stuff. But we were talking about it and I was like, oh, I really want to do that again. Like not as a consistent thing. It's always been something that I do every once in a while, and I want to do that again. I think the last one I made was like in December or something, and I thought that would be a good excuse to do both that, so like make a little I don't know, like 14 pages sketchbook and practice oil pastels with like a 1 week challenge. So I don't know, we'll see. But I was thinking I would have to make it the same way this sketchbook is made, so like with, I don't know what this is not vellum paper, it's like, I don't know how you call it, but I would have to make it with this in between, I think, and I don't know where to find this. I might just go with parchment paper, to be honest. I'll see if I have any like watercolor paper laying around and any parchment paper, and maybe I'll do that this week. I don't know. If I do, you'll see that in next week's video. This is really fun to work on though. And then yesterday night I was just journaling a whole bunch. I've been journaling a lot about Hobonichi releases. I was expecting the like the botanical illustration ones to come out, and they did, and I'm gonna get the Hon. I'm gonna get the weeks as well. I'm getting the Tower of the Sun weeks, but I'm also gonna get the Hon, and I'll talk about it in a journaling, like in a specific journaling video that I'm hoping will go out possibly at the end of this week, so before next week's like regular video. But yeah, just a tiny spoiler for you. So I've been journaling a lot about that, and then just some stuff about oil pastels and books and all of that. So that's that. That's kind of my update for the end of the week. I have rambled on for 10 minutes. The room is hot, so I'm gonna leave you with that. I hope the video is a bit nicer. Well, just a bit longer now at least, and that you have a bit more context for everything. And I will go open the windows and try not to melt before the end of the day. I have a cold matcha here, so hopefully that'll help. Maybe I'll do some drawing as well. I don't know. I hope that you're well. I wish you a nice week, and I will see you very soon. Bye!